Hell yeah.
And then and then concerts in like events and stuff.
Yeah. Just see random celebrities everywhere. That's fun.
I got the talent for it.
They say everybody's a clout chaser in LA.
Yeah, right.
So
no, they'll be two-faced as fuck, man. But LA has opportunity that like you could come up like overnight. Like that the opportunity is more there for that.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never been there. I feel like opportunity is everywhere. You know, you just gotta. You just gotta. I don't know. People have to like you,
You
kinda.
gotta seize the opportunity.
All right, so this is Chris, Buffalo Boat Train Grabbing. We're going to do a job. We're going to do an 18-foot center console T-top. So these are the easiest jobs because you don't have to build the frame on top, because with that T-top, you just build your strapping off of that. So that takes half of the framing out of the job. I got the new guy. I got Jedi John.
On it.
Follow him. He's going to do some good work. We're going to learn how to do this, and we're going to get this money. There's the boat. Let's go.
Off to make some money.
3415. Morning.
Good morning.
Anything you want to get out of the boat?
Should be all set. Took it out, everything's good to go.
Chris. Yeah, it should take us about 2 hours, a little less. And would you mind disconnecting your truck?
Yeah.
So you can get her on the front?
Yeah.
Was it a good boating season?
Yeah, it's good.
Awesome.
Yeah, good fishing.
Thanks for scheduling it early and not waiting until it snows.
Yeah, right?
All right, it's shrink 30. Let's get this money. So I got this T-top here, which means I don't have to build posts or post caps. I just take strapping from the T-top down to the edges so the shrink lays on top of that. So it's easier that I don't have to build posts, but it takes more shrink because it's usually taller and the shrink wrap is the most expensive consumable part of the job. So give and take. Also, they're a little taller, so it means you have to push a ladder around sometimes.
So the backs of boats are always the unique part because people have small fishing motors, or they have steps, or they have weird stuff going on, little sensors for depth finders and what have you. But we want to, we want to make sure this isn't open, but we're not gonna, we want to come as close to this as we can to cover everything. We probably want to come under this. Usually we would use these hooks to make it easy. We're gonna come to about here, so we're gonna cover the motor. We're gonna leave the bottom, the lower unit out, but we'll find something to tie the strapping to come lower. So probably these holes in here.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. If you want me to get the side while you do the back, and then so I can just see how you
Yeah,
do
go
it.
ahead, get the sides.
Yeah, so outboard motors and the back of these outboard boats are always the unique part. Inboard motors are always a lot easier. It's a lot cleaner on the back end. It's usually just a smooth swim deck, but I'm going to show you in my video how I get these done. So this is the secret sauce here if you're doing an outboard motor in the back. This is the best way to do it. So right now you're watching us pull the belly band around the hull of the boat through the loops of the straps on the side. That's to hold the belly band at the right height.
So I came from our loops here. I used, there's almost always a hook here on every boat.
Oh, so you use the hook.
I went down. So remember, when the shrink wrap comes down, I'm gonna have to cut slits to go over this and this. And then here, I just put just a circle, so that I'll cut the shrink here and at the back of the circle, so I can flap it underneath, and then I can fold it up here and weld, and then it's gonna come back up.
You made that look easy over here. You could have like fucked around with some.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm gonna put some straps on top. I'm gonna cover those fishing pole holders with some rags. The customer had a whole pile of those. Usually those are pretty round, so you don't have to cover them, but I think I taped a bunch of rags to those because the customer wanted me to. It's always helpful. You want to cover any sharp spots, anything that holds an antenna or little lights on top. There's always stuff poking through. So it's a good idea to bring rags or even bowls. I got my jack stands. I got my giant 200-pound roll of shrink wrap. Use some teamwork to get that up and over the boat. This one is not going to pull off clean. You shouldn't open up the shrink wrap until you cut it off the roll. So this one's not going to be a clean cut. It's all lopsided. So I'm gonna cut that off the roll again, make a clean cut, and I'm gonna have this big piece of scrap here. And you're gonna watch me how I fix a detrimental misstep here, but you know, we're experts, so we're gonna even this out, and you'll see it's gonna be short on one side. So this is a good lesson to see here. See that the shrink wrap doesn't come down past the belly band on this side? We're gonna fix that anyway, no big deal. Take that giant patch, tape it where it needs to go, and then just weld it to it. You'll never see a difference. You make those cuts on the side where the strapping is, tuck it behind there. Try to make a nice clean pleat where you bunch up the shrink wrap. See the back view where we tuck it in that belly band strap on the back, and then we tuck it in around that loop around the outboard motor like I was showing you. Here we're cutting off the trim. You only need about 5 or 6 inches hanging past the belly band, just enough to fold it over and weld it. You don't want that too short or too long. Usually weld the sides first so the shrink wrap doesn't shift around. Gotta weld the whole perimeter, and you weld up the pleats. This one's kind of tall, but I'm kind of tall too. Didn't even need a ladder for this. So you welding up the back around that little loop around the outboard. There's that flap that I was talking about. This is the way. Got a little extra on the front, so I'm wrapping this customer's winch. Customers like that. Some people don't. If the winch is down low, sometimes it makes a tighter fit just to skip the winch and wrap the bow. Here's welding up that pleat, going as high as I can go. You want to weld that pleat so that when you shrink it up, it's not just pulling that pleat apart.
I'm done with the welder, so I'm just going to take the extension pole, and then I call it the shrinker, and then shrink everything up, and we can get out of here. You can ball that up, and I'll weld that closed so you can dump it.
There's all the scrap shrink. This is a good amount, but that's because we had a bad cut off of the roll because it started unwrapping when we were pulling it off. But it's not too bad. We ball that up and dump that in a recycling bin. This is the most satisfying part. It's also the end of the job. Got a little burn hole there. It happens. So John's gonna follow me around with the shrink wrap tape. Stuff is super heavy duty. So again, we'll get any holes and also tape over any sharp spots, do any places that need reinforcement. I think there was a little bit of moisture or wetness inside of this boat when we shrink it too, so we're gonna get some vents on this boat after we're done shrinking it. There, I like these vents. It's like a little triangle, you just stab it in there, throw a piece of tape over it. You always want to get one near the front and one near the back because you want to get some cross flow. If you're going to vent this, don't bother putting desiccant in there because the desiccant will saturate immediately and do nothing. It's much better just to have some cross flow. And that's a well shrunk boat.
That's done. We got our vent here and here.
Beautiful.
Wrap the winch. Tight as a drum. Did around the motor, we did tight. We went underneath the back here. Got tight in the swim deck.
Everyone should I didn't know.
Thanks for watching.